What is going on, you guys? So, today I want to do another quick video review for you by a channel called Legion of Men. I've covered one of his videos before. Awesome channel. Go check him out. This video is called I'd Rather Die Than Work a 9 to 5. Young man has an awakening. So, I know this is going to be a good one, so let's just go ahead and hop right into it.
Welcome back, tribe. I have another one recommended by you guys here, a smaller channel by a guy named Sean Desilets. And he says, I'd rather die than work a 9 to 5. This should be interesting.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video journal. I did a video like this not too long ago. Today I had a work meeting and it was the most, I have never felt this much dread in my life before. And I don't know, it got to a point where I was like, we were talking about how we're all excited for our vacation. That's all people talk about at work, waiting for vacation. They live to wait for vacation. I said, I only have 2 weeks of vacation and like, it's 10 days. That's all you get. You work your whole year to give your time and your soul to someone else to help build their company. And in exchange, you get 10 days. Ooh. So it's like, wow, you're the rest of the time, you're just slaving away like for a company. And then you get 10 days. Ooh. And he said, yeah, welcome to the real world.
Yes, it sounds like someone told them like, oh yeah, welcome to the real world. Like they're used to it. Like, I'll get used to it, kid. And that's actually the craziest part about some of this, right? Is basically we're convinced, like, oh no, welcome to the real world. Like, that's just how it is. Like, you should be okay that we gave you 10 days. 10 days is good, man. 10 days is great. And so, it might sound like dramatic. It's funny because if you're watching this and you're thinking like the person who would say, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, kid. Like welcome to the real world. Then you're on the opposite side of the fence as someone who was basically brainwashed into being used to that. Like, imagine having no control over your life. That is nuts. Let's keep going.
But you're still young. You've barely started in this career. You've only been doing it for about 3-4 years now. Maybe in a few years, in 3-4 years, you'll have 3 weeks. And then, when you're like that other guy, and he pointed to a colleague,
A simp that's been there for decades. Peep this. If you can't see what this says, I'll read it to you right now. It has a picture of a pharaoh, and it says 2500 BC, Genesis 47. Slaves owned by Pharaoh were required to pay him 20% of their income, crop harvest, basically. And then it says 2024 AD, a picture of the American flag. The median U.S. taxpayer pays 24.8% income tax, along with 7.65 FICA taxes. On his taxed income, he then pays sales tax, property tax, gas tax, and many other taxes and fees. Welcome to modern day slavery.
he said, you'll after 15 years of working, you'll get 4 weeks. He's about to get 5. What? So you're telling me if I slave away and I give all my time to someone else and all the other disadvantages that come with having a 9 to 5, well, more 8s to 5 because my lunch isn't paid. You're telling me I can get 20 days? Ooh. Really? The worst part.
One of my favorite parts about this is there's like a saying, and I forget exactly how it goes, but it's something to the effect of, like, if you don't feed your vision or your life goals, like what you want to create for your lifestyle blueprint, this dream future, it's going to remain a dream, and you're just going to feed someone else's vision or their dream. Basically what he's saying, right, is, building for someone else. And I don't know if they're going to say this in this video or not, but something worth mentioning, especially when you're interviewing at a company or maybe you're already at a company. If you haven't thought about this and you're climbing the corporate ladder or whatever you're doing, think about those who have been at the company longer than you or those who are in higher positions than you. Maybe for some period of time, you've thought that you wanted to climb the ladder and be in their position. But have you talked to them much? Like, do you know much about their life? Do they look happy? That's the main thing, right? Are they similar to you? Or were they similar to you in the past? And are they actually happy? Like, basically, there's this idea called modeling. Like, you want to model the behavior of someone that you want to end up like. Right, or end up similar, like, or at least model some of the character traits, so you can like take these traits from somebody, take these traits from another person, and become the person you really want to be because you mixed these best qualities. And so basically what I'm saying, and what they might say later in this video is, are you modeling someone who has the life that you want to live? And that easily applies when you've got some sort of mentor or a coworker, a supervisor, someone higher up on the corporate ladder or whatever, right? Like really, like think about where the advice is coming from, and then also think about basically, do you want your life to be like theirs? That's the easiest way to put it. Let's keep going.
It's exchanging time for money. There's commute. If you have your own company, you can deduct your commute to work, right? As an employee, you're taxed before you get the money, so you can't deduct anything. So people think like you're supposed to do this. This is because you're taught this in school. You're taught this from family, from friends. It's like you're supposed to do this. This is
And just one little comment on this is there's something that I've seen basically about like people who have been able to actually build and create, millions of dollars or billions of dollars, or create a massive amount of wealth for themselves in a healthy way, is basically if they lost it all, they were easily able to get it back again, right? And so in terms of what he's saying here, like let's just bring this back just a hair.
As an employee, you're taxed before you get the money, so you can't deduct anything.
So yeah, basically your time, what I want to say here is your time is much more valuable than that money, because the money is easy to get back, but the time is not easy to get back. Let's keep going.
So people think like you're supposed to do this. This is because you're taught this in school. You're taught this from family, from friends. It's like you're supposed to do this. This is the only way. I said this in my other video. The only time like I'll recommend a traditional path is if you've got something that makes you happy, that you want to achieve. Yeah. I know someone who wants to become a lawyer because that's what they want in life, and that's their meaning to live. Some people want to be a teacher. Some people want to be a doctor and save lives. Then do it. Do that. But I can't. Get taxed the hell out of what you make before you even make it. Whereas if you have your own company, if you're smart with that money, you can make that money grow before you pay taxes at the end of the year.
Yep.
So you win. Plus, money's worth less as time goes on. So that tax amount you need to pay, it's worth less later. So it's better to pay it later than immediately.
I remember what it's like to be this young guy who's frustrated, dude. It seems like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You're pretty much smarter than your bosses. They're really incompetent. They're just low value salary employees that don't put in any extra effort. And you're seeing that your life is passing you by. You're young. Nobody will give you a shot. You got no real marketable skills just yet. It takes time to get some experience, to get some knowledge that will help you out in your career. And even when you do go to school, you'll probably end up at a job in a position that has nothing to do with what you learned. That's a very frustrated position millions of men are under today in the West. Knowing that they're capable of more, knowing that life should be more than this. There's got to be more to life than this. That shit used to run through my head nonstop when I was in his position, right there, dressed up in my button-up, about to clock in, so some asshole could yell at me and tell me how he's doing a better job, or that this is expected of me when I'm the one taking his share of the responsibilities, and then he's passing it off to our superiors as if he's done the excellent work when it was really me. Can't really say shit because he may be a supervisor or a manager of some type, and I'll get fired, or my hours get reduced, or God knows what else they can do. And then they put you through these training courses of absolute I remember when I applied at Lowe's and I got hired. I think it was Lowe's or Home Depot, one of them. And the cringiest, they brought like 300 people that worked into the store, and they had an entire staff meeting, team member meeting, where they were playing the most cringiest, like anti-union propaganda bullshit that was like, you don't need unions, you don't need raises, you don't even need food, slave. Here's how you sell this refrigerator. Here's how you get this extra percentage on sales by doubling up on these items when the customer asks this question, and shove down memberships straight out their assholes when they ask about them. Give them the 5-year guarantee. They'll never come back to use it anyway. It's fucking wild, the kind of corporate propagandist bullshit that they feed you, all while they're giving you shit Diet Coke or Pepsi or whatever else fucking poison you're supposed to drink with their cheap ass fucking microwave pizza. They can't even spring for like a fresh DiGiorno's or Pizza Hut or some shit like that. They got to get you the whack place down the street with cockroaches coming out. Here you go, good little slave. We've given everybody a 2-penny raise. Yeah. And everybody claps like fucking morons. And you're just seeing these people do defeated, zero energy, no life in their eyes. Just going, yeah, 2-cent raise. Yeah, at least we didn't get fired today. Yeah. The most depressing work environment of my entire life. one of like that, along with other jobs that are entry level and bullshit, was one of the most like pivotal moments in my entire life. That's when I knew I had to get out. I would rather die than work the 9 to 5, just like this young man says. I had the same exact feeling. Absolutely. I have to start my own business. Whatever it takes, I have to be my own man. I have no choice. I would rather be under a bridge, dead and broke, begging for fucking food, than have to do another one of these 9 to 5 shifts where I feel like my soul is literally being sucked out of my fucking body by this corporation that has me sitting here clocked in like a little rat and just staring at rafters and stacking shit, telling me what a good boy I've been. And don't you dare clock out late. And make sure you go on your lunch. We can't afford to pay you an extra penny. It's so bullshit, dude. I will.
Oh, and that's crazy. Oh, we only want you to work 30 hours so that you're not working full time, right? Or just like the level of weirdness that they do, right? I mean, the best part about what he said was like convincing you that you don't need a raise. Like that's probably the most comical part about the whole thing.
Take being an entrepreneur. I will take being a business owner. I'll take risk investing my money over that shit any day of the week. I don't care. Some weeks are better than others. Some weeks are nightmares. Kill what you eat out here as an entrepreneur. If you're not in there putting in work, you don't get paid a single penny. It's all purely self-motivation. That whole hourly wage salary bullshit is like, it is a trap in life. You're trading growth for security. That's what it is. You want the weekly paycheck. You want the pat on the back. You want to make sure you feel safe, tucked away in your little blankets, knowing that you got your piddly shit paycheck coming in every week. And apparently some people are, or a lot of people are so fine with the idea of that consistent paycheck that they'll throw away their entire future, all their potential, all the things they may have been.
He's about to say it basically, but I saw this, it was a video. Oh, it was like a clip from Chris Williamson and Alex Ramosi pretty recently. And basically he was talking about basically what Bo, the guy with the sunglasses, is saying right now. So someone's going to listen to this and then think in their head, well, not everybody can do that. Like some of us, we just want the security, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it at the end of the day, what that does is it justifies it, and it goes in a circle as a coping mechanism, right? Because you say that, and then you're basically, you're saying, like, oh, not everybody can do that. Like it's crazy that this one person did, and you're justifying why you can't, right? And there's a lot of people who are really successful, so it's really like sort of arrogant to think that you can't also be successful too. It's like, so basically, if the person who tries, to start something on their own, if they fail and they come back or they listen to you, then it justifies that you were right in, taking the safer path, right? And not actually putting the work in. But if they succeed, then it brings up all the insecurities, like, oh, like, maybe they were lucky, blah, blah, blah. Like you come up with all these reasons why they succeeded and why you didn't, when deep down you know that you could have done it as well.
Able to attempt all the opportunities that passed them by, all the risks they could have taken, which could have rewarded them with a completely different life, having the things you dream of having. Instead, you took the easy way out, a paycheck. And I'm not shitting on the normal dudes that are doing this, for example, like firefighters, policemen, things of that nature, like critical infrastructure jobs, all that stuff. The guys on the roofs, the dudes digging ditches, putting up power lines, that's a different kind of work. That's man shit. Infrastructure building and maintenance, man shit. But when you're in an office or a sales associate of a mega corporation with thousands of locations, it's soul sucking. I felt better when I was slogging it with my dad on the wall, putting up stucco, doing carpentry work, completely covered in dust and cement and God knows what chemicals that probably took years out of my life, than to be in that shitty place where I'm staring in between the aisles, wondering there has to be more to life than this. That shit just rings in my head forever. Even now, I will never accept this as the end. You can't. You'll become complacent.
When you get taxed before your salary, that's when you lose most. And then you're left with nothing. Because the moment you quit your job, like I quit tomorrow, there's nothing left. You haven't built up something for yourself that you keep for yourself. You work all this time, you leave, and that's it. They're thankful you did it for them. But you're left with nothing. They're not going to be like, hey, for all the hard work you did, we're going to pay you a monthly salary of like 10% of what you earned total just to like keep you going. No, it's over. My colleague, when I told...
But rich people do. You should look up the golden parachutes of some of these CEOs, the severance packages the CEOs get for sitting on their ass and not really doing shit. Most of the CEOs we got today are absolute dog shit at their job. That's why they switch between companies so much, because they're failing the companies they get hired at. But it's okay. They get a 20 million bonus sign-on package. They'll have a 25 million severance pay golden parachute. Imagine you quitting your job and getting like 2-3 years worth as a severance package. Isn't that nuts? Nope. You, average pleb, get nothing. No security. But my corporations need ultra profits. There's going to be a dude in the comment section saying, you want socialism. No, moron. We just want a living wage.
Told him it's really depressing. He says, yeah, well, you don't think about it because then you'll...
By the way, I think maybe all of us have seen this somewhere in our lives, or maybe not. But basically, I just want to tag on to that. I mean, like I've seen that with a lot of my family who did the route of like working for a company their whole life. And maybe for a while it was good, right? Because that happens too. Like for a while, like they enjoyed it. For a while it was good. And I noticed with a few of my older family members that around the time that they were almost done or almost retiring, right, they got really sick of what they were seeing, like what he was talking about with the CEOs. Like there was a lot of like upper management and CEOs getting hired in relation to like a degree. And I know that, sometimes like the degree doesn't even get you hired. Sometimes it does. But basically what I'm getting at is like I saw that instance as well, where the degree did get them hired, but they didn't have any of the work experience. So like they were supervising on something that they really knew little to nothing about. And so they didn't have the experience, because at the end of the day, the experience is the most important part. And I think when a lot of these older family members that I talked to were growing up, the companies were more willing to give them a shot without the degree, right? They were just like, hey, like you seem like you're ambitious, willing to learn. Let me hire you. Like, let's teach you. Let's train you up so you can be really good at this. And so I think that's where some people get a little bit up in arms about it, right? Because at the end of the day, like the college person who can't get hired, they want experience. They want to get hired so they can have experience. And then the people who didn't do that, they also just want the experience at the end of the day. And the funniest part about it, it's really not funny because it's unfortunate. Like we're seeing all the issues with student loans and student debt, right? Like, and the fact that you can like do that and then not get a job too, like that's tough. But it goes to show that there is a different path, and you might just have to carve a path for yourself that works the best and is the most effective, so you can get around a lot of the stuff that we're talking about in this video.
Want to die, but you get older and you learn to suppress the feeling.
What?
So is that life? Is that what life's supposed to be? Learn to suppress the feeling of wanting to die? That's not nice. I'm happy. I'm not a sad person. I have big ambitions, big dreams. Working for someone else and thinking it's the only way is wrong.
Oh yeah.
I can't do it. I know a lot of people in the comments will be like, well, then prove it. Or, well, you just need to accept it.
There's always these fucking booger brains. You'll see them under these comment sections.
Not everybody can do it, bruh. We're not all cut out for it. We just want security.
Yeah, go call security on your ass when you have an emergency at the hospital and you only got $400 and nothing more to cover it because you had decided to be a bitch and take the safe way out. Security! That's what you get for security, bro. If you haven't had a fire lit up under your ass, life isn't beating you down, you're sick of living paycheck to paycheck, you got no future, no doors opening, nothing, you're stuck in place, cucking out for a corporation. If all that shit is not enough to get you moving, investing in yourself and starting a business, whether you succeed or not, let it fail. Who gives a shit? You learn something valuable for the next one to potentially succeed. If all of that isn't enough, you deserve exactly where the fuck you are and your shitty life. At the end of the day, these two things right here, they're magic. These are the only things in your entire life that'll get you out of the position you're in today. No amount of praying, no amount of hoping, no amount of manifesting, no amount of writing down in a journal what you wish for in life, no talking to Santa Claus or the God you believe in. I'm telling you, if you don't put your faith in these, you ain't fucking going nowhere. And that's the one they don't want to hear the most. Sit there like the delusional boss babes and pray upon a star in a constellation because you're a retrograde in asparagus. Go do that. See how well it pans out for you in life.
I think that's just the consensus. People say, you just need to accept it. That's what my colleagues were saying.
Crabs in the bucket. I wonder how many men with successful businesses or guys that made complete lateral moves in life, like maybe you're working an office job, decided to just switch it up, screw it, and go to trade school, and then now you're welding, or now you're doing a HVAC or electrician or something like that, and you're pulling in way more, like 6 figures or more, and you're a completely free man now, simply for having the balls to completely change it up. Please, can I read positive shit from the guys who actually have the balls, had the balls in their life to actually do something. The old heads that are retired with their hundreds of thousands or potentially millions in assets that they've gained by having a pair of balls to invest in themselves. Can you write to all the bitter booger brains that are going to inevitably comment like,
We're not all capable of this. Not everyone wants to own a business.
please, reading that shit, it makes my brain melt.
You just need to accept that's normal life. Because that's what they've
Don't.
been told.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, maybe I dream in color, but I'd much rather do that than black and white, you know?
Ooh.
I don't care about money. I want time.
God damn.
10 hours every day is gone.
Perfect.
No, it's never been about the money. I don't care about money. Cut my salary in half. I don't care. I want control over time.
Perfect.
I'm at the office and there's no work left to do, and it's 3 p.m. and you do this, waiting for 5 p.m. to come, and you feel your soul slipping away,
There it is.
Perfect.
just wasting away. School teaches you that failure is a bad thing. The moment you go to school, you're told an F, you fail, it's bad. Failure is thought like you fail once, it's over. You have to restart. It's done. Have to restart. It's done. That's not true. Failure is a part of life. It's important. How do you learn to skate? You fall. How do you learn to ski? You fall. You get back
You
up.
fail.
That's
You
what's
fail.
important.
I like this dude. He's bright as fuck. He has the great mentality. He'll be a successful business owner one day. I can tell you right now. There's no amount of obstacles or problems he's going to run into, whatever multiple businesses he's going to attempt to start, or one of them will not be a guaranteed success. Nothing's stopping this guy. I tell you, there's nothing that's going to get in his way. He has the winner's mentality. This is what it is. This is what it takes. This is actually exactly what we talk about in the private community when we do those calls. I have episodes up here that we talk about shit like that all the time. What it takes to be successful, the mentality you need to have, how you need to view failure, the books that we're reading right now, like Psycho-Cybernetics, it talks about all this stuff. The mental image that you project internally of yourself, how it outwardly manifests into your actions day to day. It's not an accident that you are exactly where you are right now. It's not an accident that you believe yourself to be either the shy guy, the timid guy, the confident guy, the dude who could succeed in business, the dude who could never succeed in business. That's because that's what you would believe of yourself internally. That's the mental picture you have of yourself. You are the nervous dude. You are the shy guy. You are the fat dude. You're the whatever it is, both negative and positive. That internal image you have of yourself is who you project out into the rest of the world. There's a lot of mental work every man here can be doing to write themselves and rewrite the software in their mind. This isn't permanent, and you don't have to go to your grave believing yourself. Whatever preconceived notions that have been drilled in there through childhood, trauma, experiences, yada, yada, the list goes on. Everything can be rewritten.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, basically that last part that he was talking about is super important because basically, it's your narrative is like what you tell yourself, right? Like that mental picture that he talked about. So a great way to end this video is basically because it's a common quote, right? But it's whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. I hope this video helps bring some awareness, wake you up in some area of your life and helps you out. Thank you for watching. You got this, bro.